hi in the comment section and let me know where you are joining me from. Hi everyone, my name is Flora Basie. I am a digital accessibility expert and founder at Linoratech. Linoratech is simply an incredible company with the value and mission to support and help tech leaders and professionals easily create inclusive and accessible product such as website, and that will be serving everyone including people with visible and invisible disability. Again, if you are joining me live, just say hi in the comment section. I love to see people saying hi, so don't feel shy. And if you are watching this as a recording, just say hi. I always like to go back to the comment and see what people are saying. So if you have any question at any point in time, just share it in the comment. If you have any thought, uh, again, just share whatever you want in the comment. I would like to self-describe myself. That's a new thing that I've started because I think that is quite important to make everyone feel welcome. And so let me just describe myself. I am a Black African woman who has always a smile on her face. And today, well, let's just say I'm rocking my natural, beautiful, puffy hair. Not too long, but long enough. All right, so that's enough about me. Let's talk about today's topic, which is all about understanding accessibility and inclusion from a legal and reputational impact. So let me tell you a story. So I have been in accessibility and inclusion in the digital world for quite some time, more than 15 years now. I can't believe it's already more than 15 years, but I have been in that space for quite some time, doing some audit, doing some training, providing guidance, and so much more. But here is the kicker. When I started my journey as an entrepreneur, talking to leaders, talking to business owners, there have been a lot of common questions to embrace inclusion and accessibility. And you probably know what I'm talking about. Most leaders, most business owners wanted to know what is the legal impact of not complying with inclusion and accessibility. At first I was like, wait a minute, accessibility, it's a legal, it's a right to have, it's important, but I needed to to dive a little bit deeper to understand really. Yes, I know from my perspective that inclusion and accessibility is good, but really, to what extent is it really important for businesses to comply with accessibility? What is the trade-off? Because investing in inclusion and accessibility, it's investing with a lot of money. But what are the return on investment? So again, if you are joining me at any point in time, just say hi in the comment section. I promise I can see it. And if you have any question again, feel free to ask. Okay, so let's talk really now about the legal action and lawsuits, and I think that is better to start that way so that I will give you all the information around that. To be honest, there have been a lot of legal actions against companies that are not complying with inclusion and accessibility in the digital world as well as in the physical world. As a matter of fact, let me share with you some data right here. According to UsableNet, and this is an information that I took directly from a Forbes article, and it says that according to UsableNet, um, in 2023 yielded 3,086 federal suits and 1,519 state suit for a grand total of 4,605. Wow, that is a big number. Just so you know, most of the legal suit that happened in 2023 were costly, very expensive for companies that did not want to meet accessibility compliance. I see Dr. Rocky say hi. Hi, Dr. Rocky. I'm so happy to see you. Greeting from Ottawa. Yes. If you are joining me at any point in time, please say hi. Don't feel shy. Let me know that you are watching. Let me know that you are listening. And also let me know if any of the information I am sharing is valuable to you. Okay, with a thumbs up, with a like, with a love. I will take any kind of reaction. Okay, so happy you're here, Dr. Rocky. So as I was saying, most of the lawsuits are oftentimes costly. And so there have been a big increase in 2023 compared to the past years. So just this goes to say that accessibility compliance is really something that is taken seriously by the law. All right, so let me just remove that information and talk to you a bit more about. I see Ariel. Ariel, oh hi Ariel. I'm so happy you're here as well from Argentina. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for joining the live show. So as I was saying, there is a lot of lawsuit around accessibility, uh, targeting companies that are not meeting inclusion and accessibility for all, targeting companies that feel like maybe accessibility is a waste of time, but there are big numbers out there, and you can also google and see there are a lot of lawsuits in Canada, there are a lot of lawsuits in the United States, there are a lot of lawsuits in Europe. You know what, as a matter of fact, let me share quickly. Some people feel sometimes when we're talking about accessibility, it's just happening maybe in Canada, in maybe just in the United States, but actually the requirement to meet accessibility and to provide inclusive experiences for everyone, including those with visible and invisible disability, is actually global. It's not just in one country or another country or one state or another state or one province or another province. As a matter of fact, let me share this right here. Okay, so this document, this page is from the Law Office of Lene Fingal. Hopefully, that's how I'm pronouncing her name right. I think so. But this document, this particular page, talks about the fact that global laws and policy. And so if you see on this page, it says, well, the description, this page contains information about laws that protect disabled people's right to participate in the digital world. These laws recognize that access to website, digital content, and other technology is a civil and human right of disabled people. And so in this document, she is listing all countries. Well, to some extent, I think that this document was updated probably in 20. Oh, I don't remember exactly where is she saying it, but it was updated in. Okay, this was updated in 2023, in April 2023. So there are still more updates to come, but here are a few lists of different countries that are, meeting or embracing accessibility compliance. So just again to tell you how big and important this is. So you have countries in Africa, a few countries are listed here. You have countries in Australia, we see Canada and the United States. So there are also countries in the east of Asia. I see Hong Kong, Japan. In Europe, we have Austria, Belgium, Denmark, and more, France. We have, I mean, the list is endless, endless. And again, if your company or your business think that accessibility compliance is not important, you already heard me saying the numbers, right, about the lawsuit, and you are hearing me now talking about compliance in a different country. And this link, I'll probably share it later on. But there are more to read on this page, which I think was great to see. All right, so I see a few people commenting. I see Lady Mary. She said she's from London. Hi, Lady Mary. So happy you're here. I see Utkal said no laws works to save the right of disability people. Companies find works around these law. Yeah, I know what you mean, Utkal, but laws are still there to kind of enforce. Sometimes, yes, you're right. Company will just check the box and say, hey, this is what we did. We should be in compliance, and that's it. You gotta be careful. So let me talk about different other impact that a business may have if they are not complying with accessibility compliance. One of them, of course, as I listed, is all about the laws and the fine, but there are a few other impacts that needs to be, kept in mind. So, for example, let's talk about financial penalties and settlement. Sometimes companies feel like, oh, we are just going to settle and, make this situation go away. But even settlements cost a lot. As a matter of fact, I remember reading an article that says in 2019, retail giant Target agreed to pay 7.4 million to settle a class action lawsuit allegedly that its website was inaccessible to individuals with disability. So, can you hear that number? $7.4 million as a settlement. This is serious business if you are not complying with accessibility. This cost actually probably 100 times or 10 times more than just having a consultant really helping and supporting your teams and your company. The cost to have the right people supporting your business is far less than this kind of settlement. So keep that in mind. All right, the other thing that I wanted to share as well is the reputational, that's a big word, the reputational damage and the brand impact. I know nowadays we have so many social media platforms. You're talking about, LinkedIn being one of them, right? We have also, for example, Facebook. We have TikTok. We have, I mean, before it used to be called what, Twitter, I don't know, now it's X. I mean, we have so many social media platform where people with disabilities that are meeting limitation or challenges are exposing companies. You probably heard or read a few stories out there. I mean, I remember one story about a lady who wanted to go and travel on a plane, and her wheelchair was damaged or moved somewhere else, and she literally had to scroll in the plane island to get to her seat. It was really, really hard to watch, and I'm pretty sure that this video probably had impacted negatively the company, the airline. Soon after that, I saw a lot of posts from airlines saying, wait a minute, we have this inclusive and accessibility experience for people who are coming on board and choosing our airline. And I was like, wait a minute, now they understand that this is important. So again, I am just sharing information that are out there. You can check out there, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. I see Lady Mary say it's usually the disabled people who have to bring a case. That is so true. That is so true, Lady Mary. But I'm pretty sure that this will start to change very soon because, again, more and more people are aware of the importance of having more inclusive and accessible experiences. And I think that very soon, I mean, laws are already in place. So you literally hire a lawyer to discuss your case, but you can also have a person who has more understanding around inclusion and accessibility, an advocate, an influencer, bring some of those to the table as well. And I have the feeling that this is going to change even more moving forward because, again, we live in a world that is changing quite it's changing really quickly. And so the calling for making things inclusive and accessible is not just left to people with disability. There are a lot of allies now out there who are loving talking and spreading advocacy around inclusion and accessibility. And that's why I think that we are supposed to work together because together we are making an impact that will help everyone feel welcome and allow everyone to buy, to request information, or to request services. So, again, I am now just sharing kind of the negative impact, but there is so much goodness that come from meeting accessibility compliance. All right. So I see Octal say it's nightmares to go through the entire process of a lawsuit. Oh yes, I'm pretty sure that is not a that is not a cute vacation. Definitely not a sweet vacation. I mean, whenever you hear about lawsuit, you know that something bad is about to happen. And definitely this will impact negatively the company in terms of reputation, but also in terms of, on a financial side as well. So definitely there is a lot at stake to consider whenever you want to choose, if you think that is still a choice, to comply with accessibility. At this point in time, I don't even think it's a choice. You just need to do it. But again, for those of you who feel still a bit more resistant to comply with accessibility, let's talk a little bit more, okay? So as I was saying, reputational damage can also happen. Like, for example, I saw an article that says there is a study by by Accenture that found that 41% of consumers have switched brands due to poor inclusion and diversity practices. So you think it might not affect your consumers? Well, it will. So as you can see, 41% of consumers will switch. If they feel like the brand is not accessible, many people have parents with a disability and an elder. They have kids with a disability. They have friends with a disability. They have, I mean, you just name it, they will start switching. They will start switching because, again, many people are now embracing brands that are inclusive and accessible to everyone. It makes it easy for community to move there together with those with disability and those without disability than just going and feeling like you are leaving someone out. All right. So let's talk now about loss of market share and competitive disadvantage. I mean, ah, businesses think that accessibility is just a nice thing to have, but it's not. Trust me, it is not. If you are not embracing accessibility and inclusive experiences in your digital product, you are actually leaving out a huge market, a huge market. As a matter of fact, the WHO, which is the World Health Organization, stated that there are over 15% of the global population who lives with a disability. Again, I know when I'm speaking with people, they say, well, our clients have no disability. But my question is always, how do you know? There are a lot of people with invisible disabilities out there. Some have color blindness, some have, autism, some have, like, there are so many disabilities that are invisible. You cannot just say by the look and feel that your client have no disability. Again, these are simple numbers to bring more awareness in the fact that embracing inclusion and accessibility can impact your business positively. And if you are not embracing accessibility and inclusion to create more inclusive experiences for everyone, you might have to lose a lot from your business. I hope that makes sense. All right, so let's talk now about gosh, I can talk about this topic all day. This is just me trying to share what I have found to be very helpful, and I hope that this is giving a little bit of clarity to people out there. If you didn't know that there were a lot at stake when you do not meet compliance and accessibility, well, these are few examples that I have listed, but there is more impact out there that you can find. And so think, and make a good decision. Okay, let's talk about limited innovation, right? Let's talk about limited innovation and growth opportunity. As I said before, there is a huge market, a juicy market of consumers and clients who have a disability. And think about it this way: when you're helping a person with a disability, you are actually helping perhaps 5 people, perhaps 10 people, perhaps 30 people, because most people with a disability have a family, they have friends, they have a community, and sometimes they work with a group of people. So, again, if your business are not embracing accessibility compliance, you might actually closing the door to many more people than just one person. Whenever I speak again to leaders and business owners, they think that closing the door to one person with a disability is just one person, but it's actually more than just one person. Now, as I was saying, let's talk about, I see a comment, let me see that quickly. Oh, I see Lady Mary shared a link for more information around WCAG, which is fantastic. Thank you so much, Lady Mary. Love it. Oh my goodness. I love when communities are active and engaging and sharing because, again, listen, I'm here just to share a little bit of information based on my own journey, based on what I found. But many people in the audience have incredible experiences. And some of you perhaps have also had a little bit of difficulties, right? A little bit of challenges because some companies did not respond well to you being a consumer, to you being a client. And some of you are probably advocate in the space of accessibility and you are still trying to find, how can I convince my leaders to do the right thing? How can I bring some, support so that, the business can embrace fully inclusion and accessibility? Well, if you find this session valuable, you can just copy the link and share with any person you want. You can actually even reshare this session on your network and allow more people to gather the information. So again, what I'm sharing is a little bit of, a little snippet of information that is out there just to bring awareness of how important this is. Let's talk about, as I said, the limited innovation. When I do an audit for businesses around that are not complying with accessibility compliance, they find that often, well, sometimes, that maybe the technology cannot allow for this kind of inclusive experience, right? And so they said, oh, Flora, we can't do that because we don't have the field, or we don't have the technology, or we don't have this. Guess what? This is an opportunity for innovation. Think about it this way: the platform and technology that you have been using have been serving a subset of the population, but by enhancing and making the technology embracing innovation, creativity, you might actually create a product or a new platform that will serve more people. And this calls for, what people call having an opportunity to, you know, move past the competition, right? It's a competitive edge. When you see a platform that is not working for you, guess what? Most of the competitors are probably using the same platform. But when you sit down with people who have incredible knowledge around inclusion and accessibility, when you sit down with people with disability and ask them, how do you think this experience can be better? How can we make this better? How can we serve your community better? My, oh my goodness, you will hear so much solutions that may actually be easy to implement by your team. And doing so will give you an innovative and a cutting edge to move past the competitor. As a matter of fact, here's a statement that I got on one article that says, by embracing accessibility, organization can tap into new customer segments, drive innovation, and position themselves for long-term success. Ah, my goodness, there is so much to gain when you embrace inclusion and accessibility. Now, sometimes people ask me, well, Flora, okay, we got it. It's really important. There are lawsuits, there are settlement, there is a reputational damage, there is law. If you don't meet the compliance, you might not be able to, to attract a new market segment and so much more. Now we get it. But what kind of standards are we supposed to follow? What kind of standards are we supposed to meet? Well, in terms of digital accessibility, in terms of digital product, as Lady Mary said, you can follow the WCAG standard, which stands for Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. There have been a lot of version out there. I think that in one of my session in previous video, if you go to my profile, you should be able to see some of the videos talk that I have already recorded. In one of them, I'm explaining exactly the standards that should be followed. And right now, we have a WCAG 2.2 standards. So it's really, really important to be up to date with the standards, because the standards are just meant to give you more guidance into creative, more inclusive experience. Remember, technologies are always changing. People needs are always changing. So the WCAG is also changing to accommodate all of those needs. But pay attention to your customers first. Always see if you have a mechanism to collect feedback, try to address those feedback properly, because the less people or companies are addressing those feedback around challenges or limitation for inclusive experiences, the more they find themselves in lawsuit, because you are not communicating with your consumers, you are not communicating with your clients. And guess what? If there is no communication, if there's no workaround, then a lawsuit might come very handy for these customers who feel left out. I see Ariel said, I once got told we don't build a website for blind people. Ooh, oh my goodness, I heard that before as well. It was frustrating, said Ariel. But today I realized that if they had understood the concept of market share loss, they would have reconsidered they would have reconsidered that. It's so true. It's so true. I mean, there's a lot to talk about inclusion, accessibility, and experiences. Again, if you have any question, if you feel like this session was valuable, please give me a thumbs up. This is the end of the session, and I host a session around inclusion and accessibility every Friday for just 30 minutes. So please join me again next Friday, and I will see you next time. Bye bye. As a matter of fact, next time I'm going to have a guest speaker. You don't want to miss it. Goodbye, everyone, and enjoy your weekend.